Well, Dr. Ashok, there was a case of a CEO who actually collapsed and was a very regular runner and around early 40s and collapsed one day. But one of the things that stood out was just about 4 to 5 hours of sleep for that person. How critical is sleep for cardiac health and for fitness, or for those who focus on high fitness activities?
CEO who was exercising regularly and then you said had a heart attack, and is sleep a factor? Firstly, I must emphasize there is no single factor. It is multifactorial and it is a combination. For example, this CEO, and let's not even talk about individuals, but let's take that example. That CEO, who I don't know as a person who you're talking about, may have been doing all this, but I'm not sure whether he was a smoker, not a smoker, or she was a smoker. Secondly, lack of sleep could be just one of the reflections of many other factors. For example, lack of sleep is an important factor, but also could cause hypertension. He could be under a lot of stress trying to meet numerous deadlines all the time. So, stress comes in as another risk factor. We don't know whether he was a diabetic or not a diabetic, but was there a family history which none of us would know apart from he himself?
Yeah.
And therefore, yes, let us also add into the two other important things in the recent times, which added on to this multiplicity of risk factors. And that's viral infection, mostly COVID, and secondly, pollution.
Sure.
These two are the most recent factors over the last 6 years to 7 years. We've increased the incidence of heart attacks. Again,
Yeah.
like we say, a multiplication factor. So we must understand that when we put a single risk factor, that's not the risk factor. That single risk factor is just a reflection of a person having multiple risk factors and the person was not able to identify those multiple risk factors which led to a heart attack. By the way, I also want to emphasize that 10% of these sudden cardiac arrests could be a viral infection affecting the heart, which leads to weakening of the heart muscle, which leads to irregular heart beating. And those irregular heart beatings can suddenly present during exercise as well.